Margbot.
Oh, baby, you drive me crazy. I only hope I can express to you I'm secretly in love with you. You make me positively crazy. I'm always thinking of you.
Look at her, Marlene. If a voice could steal hearts, hers would do it. She makes things significantly easier for me. I come to her bar to escape. It's a classy place. Drinking and trying to let go of my everyday, I lose myself in her voice, thinking, could anyone be more perfect? I suppose someone was once, but...
John?
I look over into the eyes of my partner. If you didn't know she was an android, you'd swear she was a human. The light blue eyes, red hair, her pale skin, everything made to blend in perfectly. We've been working together for about 4 years now. I can always trust her to have my back. I'm one of the few comfortable with that idea. She possesses an adaptive intelligence. H.A.L.E is what she is called by the company that made her. It stands for Humanoid Advanced Living Entity, or some stupid shit like that. H.A.L.E is better. She, however, has chosen her own name. I don't blame her either. Yes, Nova? Eyeing me, I sometimes ponder if she has a soul. Is it even possible for something robotic to have a soul? Nova comes from one of the more recent New York City districts that is governed solely by other androids. These cyber cities are an experiment. They are supposed to be a step in robotic rights or some such political bullshit. There are different classes of citizens in these. There are mirror robots. They have no mind and are governed by those controlling them, or by their programmed purpose. In the cyber districts, android who possess a similar adaptive intelligence to Nova's go about giving the orders and controlling these less intelligent forms, or even programming them. It's amazing what life can be like in such a short time. It's 2050 now, but only a few decades ago, they were merely beginning to truly innovate in artificial intelligence and even android production. I still remember when Android was simply a phone.
Why haven't you asked Marlene out yet, John? You've been bullshitting like this for how many years now? It is obvious you two have a fascination for one another. It's almost like she sings for you.
It's not that simple, Nova. Plus, I'm not sure I'm ready for that sort of thing. I study her closely. Nova is many things, but sometimes our honesty is a bit harsh.
I'm sure—
Please don't go there, Nova. The singing stops and Marlene approaches our table. She has a way about her. It's intoxicating to be around her, but since the death of my wife, I haven't had the same motivation to pursue a relationship.
Mr. Grant, Nova, how are you two tonight?
I remain silent as Nova looks at Marlene.
We are well, Marlene. I was just asking Jonathan what—
Sorry about that, Marlene. We were discussing a case. Confidential. You know how that is. I can feel Nova glaring at me. It's as though I could feel the heat of her gaze. I see Marlene turn and look at Nova. I do the same, only to find she is wearing a rather playful smile suddenly.
Marlene, I just wanted to say, you have a lovely voice.
Marlene smiles at this. Such a beautiful smile. I observe her 5'7" frame, the long black hair, light brown skin. I'm lost for a moment.
Thank you so much, Nova. Have you ever thought about singing?
Uh-oh.
I'm a lot like John here. I love to take in the amazingly sweet voice of someone as talented and beautiful as yourself. I don't have much of a singing voice.
Marlene brushes heavily now and looks at me.
Do you think that?
Fucking Nova. I look over at her for a second only to see her grinning happily. She knows exactly what she's doing. I'm not sure what to say, so I just down my whiskey.
See? He's speechless, Marlene.
I about choke on my whiskey. Marlene isn't saying anything. She's just smiling and blushing. I, on the other hand, am unsure what to do. Looking at Nova, I notice she is holding a perfectly devilish smile. I start to glare, but remember Marlene is watching. Could you excuse me for a moment? I need to use the restroom. Marlene smiles. Nova is practically laughing inside, if that's possible. I head to the restroom and throw water on my face. Looking at myself in the mirror, I try to get a grip. I'm a 40-year-old detective, married to his job now. I've got the gray beard and gray hair already. My fedora isn't hiding that. Marlene is 30, but looks like she could be 25. I'd be crazy to think I could wind up with her, and even if I could, she'd probably just wind up dead anyways. It's been 7 years since I lost my wife, and I still can't get over that. If Rebecca were here, she would wish I had moved on by now, but I can't help but continue to mourn her departure. I blame myself. I was busy working a case, and she was home alone. I never thought the perp would have so much on me. I feel the rage welling up inside me. I'm sure part of it is the whiskey, but we never caught the fucker. I was, of course, removed from being involved in the case, but I haven't stopped looking. I should probably head back out there. I step out of the restroom, hoping that Nova has stopped talking to Marlene by now. I take in the decor of this bar. It's quite classy. The red silk curtains, the huge diamond chandelier. Everything about this place exudes class, which is part of why I like it. I head back to the table only to find Nova is talking to a now sitting Marlene. Great. I should order another whiskey, I think. Sitting down, I try to smile, even though the look in my eyes says it all to Nova. She seems untroubled by my look, only glancing at me and smiling mischievously for a moment before looking at Marlene again and continuing to chat.
So, we should order something and eat together. Are you available, Marlene?
Marlene's face brightens.
I am. What about it, John?
I smile. It's impossible not to. I want to kill Nova, though she'd probably snap me in two. Sure, of course. Suddenly, Nova stands up. No, you better not be.
I'll be right back. I need to make a call.
Nova winks at me, still holding that devilish grin. My eyes widen partially in fear and partially in anger.
John?
I return to smiling. I'm sure she can see me blushing. Yes, Marlene?
How has your day been going?
Oh, nothing special. Just another day. I'm not even sure what to say. Marlene grabs my hand and looks into my eyes.
May I ask you for a dance? Nova said you are quite the dancer.
Oh, Nova. Just why? I don't know that I'm a great dancer. Nova likes
John, the lady asked you for a dance. Be the gentleman I know you are and accept.
I was internally screaming at this point. Nova had returned and was happier than ever. She also had a whiskey in her hand. I used my free hand to take the whiskey from her hand and down it before following Marlene. What am I doing? We closed in tight and began to dance. Marlene was so beautiful. I felt like a disrespectful asshat, because I'm sure she could now smell the whiskey on my breath. Still, she didn't seem to say anything. She simply danced with me slowly, and she smiled. I felt myself getting lost in her eyes. I was entranced. Then it happened.